you going? We've got this Miele Induction top. It's a KM5731 is the model. It's dead, completely dead, nothing comes on at all. People I got it off said they got a quote for something like 700, 800 bucks to get it fixed, and they've just gone with the old. This is not worth it, so I figure we'll have a look over it and see what's inside and see if we can work out what the problem is. Let's pull it apart and get in there. We'll just get this cover off. It uses a standard 6-pin Torx head. I don't know the exact size, but if you've got a set of them, it's easy enough to get the right one, so we'll just see how that goes. Take it off. Okay, it's just come off now, there it is. I've got an earth strap here. Just unplug that. Okay, so now I've got this top off. I've just got to get under here. This out. Carefully. See what we've got connected over here. Heaps of stuff. Oh, it's all been fully disconnected already. Looks like the people who were working here previously have already done this. So let's get this off and have a look. Okay, so it looks like the repair person who looked at this previously has taken a heap of screws out. There's one left. This is randomly left out. Disconnected all these. Well, yeah, disconnected them all. So I'll just move this all around now and get it so it's a bit easier to look at and work on. I might just hook it all up first, get it back how it's supposed to be, just to make sure that there is nothing happening with it, and then we'll go forward from there. Put this top on. Well, okay, we'll plug it in, turn it on. Right, switch it on. Well, there's actually a light on there now. That's certainly a start. Interesting. It's way too successful. Okay, let's crank up one of these. Whoa! That just blown my circuit. Way too much current draw coming through that little thing. Alrighty, get that sorted. Okay, so I tried a couple of times, turned it on, which it does. Started that hot plate, popped the circuit breakers in the garage. Tried this hot plate, did the same thing. So I don't think it's the hot plates. There's probably a circuit underneath that just turns off as a timer thing. So yes, so obviously there's a current draw issue. Hence why the tech who pulled this apart has disconnected all the hot plates. So we'll dig in a bit deeper and have a look and see what's possibly sucking all the current. Okay, see what's underneath this thing. Right, another connection still. Another earth. There. So we've got two boards at the back here that are identical. Each one can power up to 2 elements. The problem could be in one of these. If that's the case, then both boards must be linked to both turn on whenever one turns on. Otherwise the problem's going to be in the front, which controls both. I don't believe these are at fault, but because no matter which panel you turned on, it was popping the circuit breaker, so it doesn't make sense that it's going to be an individual one of these. But as I haven't dug right into the actual control part of these two, which these lines here, and the line that runs to here, this braid, they're like the control lines. I haven't tracked those, so maybe they work as one to both boards, or maybe they don't. Maybe one could pop. Maybe they both switch on at the same time. So even though they're independent, it still could pop if there's an issue on one of the boards. So I'll disable one of those, each of those boards. And as opposed to just taking the panel off, because taking the plates off. If there's an issue in these circuits, more than likely going to be in probably one of these FETs, or so these being plugged in or not won't really matter necessarily. So I'll just disconnect the power from the board completely. Okay, put it back together, test it, see what happens. So I just have the one side connected up, and that's connected to these two elements I've got sitting here. I'll put the other two elements down as well, just to balance the glass, so that when it sits on top it's okay. Okay, 4 plates on. Let's get this back over the top, flip it over and screw it down. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's flip it over and see what happens. I'll be interested to see if we get errors. Errors because it detects there's been a disconnected plate. We'll see, I guess. It's all off at the moment. Yep. Plug it in. Switch it on and see what happens. Okay, lights on. Nothing shorted. It's on, so I don't know which panel is. Okay, so it's detected that there's nothing on that side, and that's off. Okay, it's easy. Let's see what happens. We have no popped circuit breaker. Same as before. Now I just take these off, and I'll leave those on and take these other two off that are over here. Just to guarantee that the issue is in that board. That one's out. I'm going to take the fan out again just because it's just a random thought that what if the fan is shorted and causing issues. Let's see how that goes. Okay, so we have this bank now connected, this bank not. Fan is off as well. Okay, this side is now gone, and so you can just see there at the bottom of your screen. And those there off this side. Too slow. I'm nervous doing this. Bam! I think we're pretty certain what the problem is. There goes all my power again. Okay, so we know this side is the problem. This is the board with the problem. So from what I've seen and just experience, I guess my belief is that we will probably have an issue with one of these FETs. I'll have to double check what that is. It's not a standard FET, it's got 4 legs, but I'll have a look what's going on with that device. Otherwise we're talking big capacitors, so that's possible. We'll do some quick testing of those. But yeah, normally issues lie in these kinds of things. So I'll take this off, see how easily it does come off or doesn't. Go from there. Cool. Again, star tip for the board. See, there we go. Look at that, easy. Take that off. Yeah. And the same with the. I'll just use a pointy noses. I'll see if I can get that a bit better than the previous. Or not. There we go. Nice. Alrighty, so here's the board. Now I can see this picture here. I'll zoom in and show you that is just a rectifier. And rectifier could be playing up. They're pretty easy to test though. As you can see by the symbols there. AC in, DC out, plus and minus. So there are your rectifiers there. So I'll have a look at these. I'll just start by checking the diode, because there is a diode that runs from the emitter to the collector, with it pointing in the direction of the collector. So the collector is the middle pin and the emitter is the right pin. So we'll start with the earth on the collector and the it's on diode testing. Alright, so we'll go collector and emitter. Oh, that doesn't sound really good. That's dead short. Switch it around. Dead short as well. Yeah, that's pretty cactus. I'll try the one next to it. Alright, well there's two. They're dead. Let's see what's going on over here. Yeah, that's acting more like a diode now. Yep, okay. About 4.4. Other side. Yep, alright. So I think we can be pretty sure that they are dead. Yeah, okay, so I'll have to check. I didn't actually check which ones I tested, but that bank is the problem. So that's that. So I found out what these are. They're actually IGBT, which are insulated gate bipolar transistors, I think. They got the part number. I'll just read it because I can't remember. It's IXGR40N60C2D1. So that's what they are. They're pretty much just like a transistor. They do have a diode that connects the emitter to the collector, and it has a gate instead of a standard transistor entrance. Okay, so we'll get this off. So this slides down. It's pretty firm, but I'll just tap it through, and nothing like getting a big hammer and screwdriver onto some delicate components. Just put the hammer down. I did try and move this earlier, and it is pretty solid, so this is about the only way to move it along. Do a bit more coordinated than that. To get this up on a bit of height to get it off further. Trusty bit of 4x2 to get the rest of the way. Done. Okay, just desolder these. Some nice carcinogenic goop, I'm sure, just to transfer the heat. So I was able to pop this one off with a bit of force, so that's done. It was just really just a matter of not as easy as this one. Alright, I'm going to try a little bit of brute force again, just to make it move sideways a fraction. It is dead anyway, so it's not a big deal for us. There we go. Just enough to loosen it, disconnect it from the heat transfer compound. Alright, I'll go and desolder these and get a price. Okay, got the transistors. Scoop it up, put some heat transfer, put them in. I'll do a check on the multimeter, make sure they're all fine first. Shouldn't be an issue of being new. Clamp it down and solder it, and put it back in. So anyway, I was able to get the clip on. It was quite hard and I'm not really happy with the way I've done it, but it's pretty much put the clip in place and tap it down. It was a bit firmer, I'm not going to hit it any more than I had to, and it basically forced it in to the place where it had to go. So it's back in place now, but it was very tedious to get in. hopefully I haven't damaged anything else on the board in the process of doing that. Okay, if anyone knows an easier way to actually put that on, because I slid it, but then I would have had to have held it up to get past the transistors, so not a fan of that idea either. Okay, I'll solder it up. This one has. Yeah, solder properly. Solder positive. Change these before you solder. Okay, so put it in. And put it back in. Slide under these two tabs. Two clips. Alrighty, let's get one of these induction hot plates. Pots. Plug it in. See if we pop some circuit breakers again. Well, that's a good start. Bam! Right, we have other issues. So I found out these two trannies have a short heatsink between their middle pin, which I think is the collector, and the actual backing. So that was shorting these to this, as opposed to the originals, which didn't have, which are open circuit heatsinks to their pins. Hard way of learning that. So to fix the problem, got some insulators which we'll put behind, heat transfer insulators. Put them behind this and see how it goes. These I've replaced both of these as well. I've just decided to jump into the video now while I was editing it, because there's a heap of footage now that follows where when I reassemble where we're up to, it actually fails again. What I found out after a fair bit of fault finding is that the rectifier got fried as well as part of those transistors being shorted to the heat sinks. So instead of showing you all the footage involved me pulling it apart and testing to try and find that issue, I thought I'd just cut to the chase and let you know the rectifier fried. It's not part of the original fault, that's a follow on because of the transistors I got had shorts between their heatsinks and collectors, as I mentioned. So if you go through all that and make sure you don't get ones that are shorted, or you put insulations between them, you won't have the issue that I've now had to fix up as well. But with that, I'll just continue the video. Okay, so taking the rectifier out, I've already tested it, but I'll just show you the outcome of it. I'll just go straight to this. So the rectifier should have 4 diodes in it basically. So you should read diode readings. So there's one diode there, back the other way should be open. Across the other side, open. And you should be able to go across this way. That's short. This one here, it's short as well. They should be diode readings as well. So that is cactus. So I'll get another one of those as well. Okay, got some new rectifiers from RS Components. RS, what an acronym. Anyway, so I'll replace the rectifier, put some heatsink transfer compound here, and Give it a clean up. Isopropyl alcohol. It's like worth its weight in gold now with the corona stuff going on. Okay, plates are on, most of the screws are in, all the ones under the plates particularly. I'll just give it a go before I finish putting it all together. Just not quite feeling that confident compared to what's been happening. Okay, power's off on the wall, plug it in. And the test. That's part one of the test anyway. That's the start. As you go bang, lights on. Alrighty, I'll go and get the pot on. Quite frankly, I'm quite nervous about doing this. There you go. Got the humming noise. Start seeing some bubbles soonish. Yep, starting to boil. Cool, that's that side. So the issue initially was that no matter what you turn on it would pop because they were joined, but okay, that's definitely working. Let's try work my way around. All good, boiling away. Sorted. Okay, it's only a lot harder than it should have been. Okay.